Life, in its beautiful and often bewildering complexity, has a certain weight to it, doesn't it? This weight isn't something you can choose to carry or leave behind. It's a fundamental part of the human experience. The storms of life will inevitably gather. The winds of change will blow with fierce unpredictability, and challenges will rise before you like formidable mountains. Disappointments, those unwelcome guests, will knock on your door, often without any invitation. They are simply part of the fabric of a life fully lived. But here is a profound truth I've come to understand after many years of navigating these very currents. Your ultimate happiness, your deep and abiding joy, is not determined by what happens to you. It's not the storm that defines you, but how you learn to sail your ship within it. The true measure of a life well lived lies in what you do about what happens to you. It is the philosophy you cultivate in the quiet moments, the attitude you choose to wear each morning, and the daily disciplines you practice with unwavering commitment that will ultimately decide whether you rise above your circumstances or find yourself buried beneath them. Redefining happiness, an inside job now. When I speak of forcing yourself to be happy, I want to be crystal clear. I'm not advocating for a life of pretense, of putting on a fake smile and insisting that everything is wonderful when, in reality, your world feels like it's crumbling. That isn't happiness, that's delusion. It's a fragile mask that shatters at the slightest touch of reality. What I'm talking about is something far deeper, far more powerful. I'm talking about making a conscious, deliberate and courageous decision to actively seek out reasons for joy, especially in the midst of difficulty. It's about training your mind, your most powerful asset, to look for the silver linings, to search for the hidden lessons, to find the unexpected opportunities that are always, without fail, present, even in our darkest hours. You see, happiness isn't some magical prize you win at the end of a long and arduous journey. It's not a destination you arrive at once everything in your life is perfectly aligned. If that were the case, let's be honest, most of us would never experience it, because life is rarely, if ever, perfect. Life is a dynamic, ever-changing series of challenges, punctuated by beautiful, fleeting moments of peace. The true masters of happiness, those who have learned the art of choosing it, have discovered a remarkable secret. They can create their own weather, regardless of the storms raging outside. The hidden opportunity in every struggle. Let me share with you a fundamental law of life, a principle so powerful that it can reshape your entire reality. Yet most people go through their lives completely unaware of it. It's this: for every adversity, there is an equal or greater opportunity. But here's the catch, and it's a significant one. You have to actively look for it. You have to train your mind to see beyond the immediate pain and perceive the potential gain. You have to develop the discipline to find the seed of growth within the soil of struggle. Think about it. When life gets heavy, what is the typical human response? Most people focus all their energy and attention on the weight itself. They ruminate on the problem. They talk incessantly about the problem. They worry themselves sick over the problem. And then, they are bewildered when the problem seems to grow larger and more imposing in their lives. But successful people, happy people, those who have learned to consciously cultivate their own joy, they do something entirely different. They acknowledge the weight, of course. They don't deny its existence or pretend it isn't there. But they refuse to set up camp in the land of problems. They don't make it their permanent residence. Instead, they ask themselves a different, more empowering set of questions. Instead of the victim's cry, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask with the curiosity of a student, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of desperately pleading, "How can I get out of this?" they ask with the resolve of a warrior, "How can I grow through this?" This subtle shift in questioning is the difference between being a victim and being a victor. Victims are fixated on what's wrong, what's missing, what's not working. Their world is defined by lack and limitation. Victors, on the other hand, focus their vision on what's possible, what's available, what's working. And here's the beautiful, almost magical thing about the human mind. Whatever you focus on expands. If you focus on your problems will indeed get bigger. But if you focus on your possibilities will blossom and multiply. The ultimate project. Working on yourself, I want to share another principle that has been a guiding star for me throughout my entire life. It's simple, yet profound. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Most people pour their energy into their careers. They put in 8, 10, 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year, working diligently at their job. And then they wonder why their lives aren't fundamentally changing. They wonder why they feel stuck, unfulfilled, and stagnant. Here's the distinction they fail to grasp. If you work hard on your job, you can make a living. And that's respectable. But if you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. A fortune not just in material wealth, but in a wealth of joy, wisdom, and fulfillment. The very same principle applies directly to your happiness. So many people work tirelessly trying to change their external circumstances, believing that happiness lies just on the other side of a new possession or achievement. They tell themselves, if I could just get that promotion, or if I could just find the right relationship, or if I could just have a little more money, then I'd finally be happy. But happiness doesn't operate that way. It's not a prize to be won out there. Happiness is, and always will be, an inside job. You must dedicate yourself to working harder on developing your internal state than you do on rearranging your external circumstances. So, how do you begin this all-important work on yourself? How do you cultivate the discipline to choose happiness, even when life feels impossibly heavy? It all starts with the foundational understanding that happiness is a choice, not a chance. It's not a lottery you might win if you're lucky. It's a skill you build, a masterpiece you create. And like any craft worth mastering, it requires practice, patience, and unwavering persistence. Here are the disciplines, the daily practices, that will help you build a life of enduring happiness. The first discipline, the sanctity of gratitude. The journey begins with the discipline of gratitude. Every single morning, before your feet even touch the floor, before the world has a chance to rush in with its demands and distractions, take a quiet moment to find 3 things you can be genuinely grateful for. They don't have to be monumental. In fact, the beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity. Be grateful for the simple fact that you woke up, for the roof over your head that shelters you, for the air that fills your lungs. Think of gratitude as a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. And as your gratitude muscle strengthens, you'll find it becomes easier and more natural to find reasons to be happy, even when life presents its inevitable challenges. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what you have, from scarcity to abundance. It is the fertile ground from which all other happiness grows. The second discipline, the power of positive self-talk. The second discipline is mastering the art of positive self-talk. It's a sobering thought, but most people are their own worst enemy. They engage in a relentless internal monologue of criticism, doubt, and self-flagellation. They speak to themselves in ways they would never, ever dream of speaking to their dearest friend. Successful and happy individuals, however, have learned to become their own best friend, their own most ardent supporter. They encourage themselves, they motivate themselves from within, and crucially, they forgive themselves when they make mistakes, understanding that failure is not a final verdict but a stepping stone to growth. Your self-talk is like a radio station playing continuously in the background of your mind, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The critical question you must ask yourself is this: what station are you tuned into? Is it the station of negativity, broadcasting messages of doubt, fear, and limitation? Or are you tuned into the station of positivity, with its uplifting messages of encouragement, possibility, and belief? You, and only you, have the power to change the station. You are the DJ of your own mind. Choose your playlist wisely. The third discipline, the art of association. My mentor, Jim Rohn, used to say that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This is the discipline of association, and its importance cannot be overstated. If you want to be happy, you must surround yourself with happy people. If you want to be successful, you must associate with successful people. If you want to be positive, you must immerse yourself in the company of positive people. This doesn't mean you must abandon friends or family members who may be struggling. It simply means you become more conscious and selective about who you allow to influence your thinking, your energy, and your spirit. You must consciously limit your exposure to chronic negativity and seek out those who inspire you, who challenge you to grow, who see and believe in your potential even on the days when you don't. Believe in it yourself. But here's the challenge: positive, uplifting people won't just magically appear in your life. You have to actively seek them out. You have to go where they are. Read the books they read, listen to the podcasts they listen to, attend the seminars and workshops they attend. You must make a conscious investment in surrounding yourself with the right influences. Your relationships are like the soil in which you grow. Make sure it's fertile and nourishing. The fourth discipline, the adventure of lifelong learning. The fourth discipline is a commitment to lifelong learning. Happy people are curious people. They are perpetual learners. They understand a vital truth: if they're not growing, they're dying. They are constantly reading, listening to educational programs, attending workshops, and acquiring new skills. They know that their income will rarely exceed their personal development, and their happiness will never exceed their personal growth. Learning gives you options. It gives you confidence. It equips you with the tools you need to handle whatever life throws your way. When you are in a state of constant learning and growth, you develop an unshakable belief in your ability to handle any challenge. You cultivate a quiet confidence that no matter what happens, you have the inner resources to deal with it. Sadly, most people stop actively learning the day they graduate from school. They believe their education is complete. They fall into the trap of thinking they know everything they need to know. And then they wonder why their lives become stagnant, why they feel stuck in a rut, why their enthusiasm for life begins to wane. The truth is, a formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune, and it will also make you happy. The fifth discipline, the joy of contribution. Now, let me share a principle that is crucial to creating a life of deep and meaningful happiness. The principle of contribution. Human beings are wired for purpose. We are at our happiest when we are contributing to something greater than ourselves. When you are focused solely on your own problems, your own needs, and your own desires, your world shrinks, and you can easily become miserable. But when you shift your focus outward to how you can serve others, how you can make a positive difference, how you can contribute to the well-being of the world around you, something truly magical happens. Your own problems begin to shrink in comparison. Your perspective expands, and your happiness increases exponentially. This is one of the great paradoxes of a well-lived life. The more you give, the more you receive. The more you help others, the more you help yourself. The more you focus on making others happy, the happier you become. It is a law as reliable and as universal as the law of gravity. Yet, so many people never discover it because they are trapped in a mindset of getting rather than giving. Contribution doesn't have to be some grand, dramatic gesture. It can be as simple as helping a neighbor carry their groceries, volunteering at a local charity for an hour a week, mentoring a young person who is struggling, or simply being a source of kindness and light to the people you encounter in your daily life. The key is to make contribution a regular, consistent part of your life, not something you do only when you feel you have a surplus of time or energy. The sixth discipline, the foundation of physical health, the sixth discipline, is the care and maintenance of your physical health. Your body and your mind are not separate entities. They are intricately and beautifully connected in ways that science is only just beginning to fully understand. When your body feels good, your mind feels good. When your body is strong and vibrant, your mind is sharp and resilient. When your body is healthy, your mind is happy. So many people neglect their physical health and then wonder why they feel a constant sense of depression, anxiety, or unhappiness. They fuel their bodies with junk food, they lead sedentary lives, they deprive themselves of adequate sleep, and then they are perplexed by their own feelings of lethargy and despair. Your body is the precious vehicle that carries you through this journey of life. If you want to be happy, you must take care of your vehicle. This doesn't mean you need to become a fitness fanatic or adhere to a perfect, restrictive diet. It simply means making reasonable, common sense choices. It means putting nourishing foods into your body most of the time. It means moving your body in ways that you enjoy. It means honoring your need for sleep and drinking enough water. These simple, foundational disciplines will have a profound and lasting impact on your mood, your energy levels, and your overall capacity for happiness. The seventh discipline, the power of compelling goals. The seventh discipline is the practice of goal setting. Happy people have something to look forward to. They have dreams on the horizon, plans in the making, and goals that excite them and pull them forward into a brighter future. Unhappy people, by contrast, often have nothing to look forward to. They are adrift, living day to day without a clear sense of purpose or direction. Goals give your life meaning. They provide a framework and a direction. They give you something to work toward, something to strive for, something to achieve. But here is the crucial key: your goals must be your goals. They cannot be someone else's goals for you. They must be deeply rooted in your own values, your interests, and your passions. They must be goals that set your soul on fire, not goals you think you should have because of societal or familial expectations. When you have compelling, personally meaningful goals, it becomes infinitely easier to choose happiness, because you have something to be excited about. You have a powerful reason to get out of bed in the morning. You have a purpose that is bigger than your problems. Your goals become a powerful magnet, pulling you forward even on the days when life feels heavy. But remember, goal setting is not just about reaching the destination. It's about the person you become in the process of pursuing your goals. Every goal you set will require you to grow, to develop new skills, to overcome obstacles, and to push through challenges. The person you become on this journey is often a far more valuable prize than the goal itself. The eighth discipline, the grace of celebration. The eighth discipline is the practice of celebration. Happy people take the time to celebrate their victories, no matter how small they may seem. They acknowledge their progress, they appreciate their growth, and they recognize their achievements along the way. Unhappy people, on the other hand, tend to focus on what's still wrong, what's still missing, what they still haven't accomplished. They live in a perpetual state of not enough. Celebration is not about being prideful or arrogant. It's about gratefully acknowledging the good things in your life. It's about recognizing your own efforts and appreciating how far you've come. It's about finding reasons to be happy right here, right now, not waiting for some distant future when everything is perfect. Most people are so relentlessly focused on the next goal, the next achievement, the next milestone, that they never pause to appreciate what they've already accomplished. They are always looking ahead, never looking around. But true, sustainable happiness is found in the present moment. It is found in the deep appreciation of what is, not in the anxious anticipation of what might be. The ninth discipline, the wisdom of patience, the ninth discipline, and one that is essential for this journey, is the discipline of patience. Choosing to be happy is not a one-time decision, it is a daily practice. It's not something you do once and are then set for life. It is something you must recommit to every single day for the rest of your life. And like any skill worth having, it takes time to develop. You wouldn't expect to become a master pianist overnight. And you cannot expect to become a master of happiness overnight. There will be days when it feels easy and natural. There will be days when you feel like you are making tremendous progress. And there will be days when you feel like you are taking 2 steps back. There will be times when these disciplines feel like a joyous expression of who you are. And there will be times when they feel forced and difficult. This is all part of the process. It is all part of the journey. The key is to be patient and compassionate with yourself. Don't demand perfection. Don't expect immediate, linear results. Expect ups and downs. Expect setbacks and challenges. But also expect growth, expect progress, expect improvement over time. Remember, you are not just trying to be happy for a day or a week. You are building a life of happiness. You are forging a character that can find joy in any circumstance. You are creating a mindset that can discover opportunity in every challenge. This is a lifelong journey, not a short-term project. Embrace the process. The 10th discipline, the strength of faith, the 10th and final discipline, is the discipline of faith. Now, I'm not necessarily talking exclusively about religious faith, although for many, that is a powerful and essential part of it. I'm talking about a broader, more encompassing faith. I'm talking about faith in yourself, faith in your inherent ability to overcome challenges, faith in your capacity to grow, to learn and to improve, faith that things can and will get better, faith that your best days are still ahead of you, not behind you. Faith is the light that sustains you when you cannot see the solution to your problems. Faith is what keeps you moving forward when the path ahead is shrouded in uncertainty. Faith is what gives you the strength to take the very next step, even when you don't know where the path is leading. Faith is what allows you to maintain a sense of hope even when circumstances scream hopelessness. Without faith, it is nearly impossible to choose happiness when life feels heavy. Without faith, you will likely give up at the first sign of significant difficulty. Without faith, you will allow your circumstances to dictate your emotional state. But with faith, you can maintain your inner joy regardless of what is happening around you. Faith is not about being naive or unrealistic. It's about believing in possibilities that others cannot see. It's about trusting in your own resilience. It's about knowing, deep in your soul, that every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every ending is a new beginning, and every failure is a lesson in disguise. The magic of the compound effect now, let me share a principle that ties all of these disciplines together. The principle of compound interest. You are likely familiar with how this works with money, how small, consistent investments can grow into a large fortune over time. The exact same principle applies to your happiness. Small, consistent, daily actions compound over time to create extraordinary results. A daily practice of gratitude might not feel life-changing on any single day, but over the course of weeks, months, and years, it fundamentally transforms your perspective and your entire experience of life. A daily commitment to positive self-talk might feel insignificant in the moment, but over time, it literally rewires the neural pathways in your brain. Each of the disciplines I've shared with you might seem small and almost trivial by itself. But when you practice them consistently, day in and day out, when you allow them to compound over time, they create a powerful, unstoppable force for happiness in your life. They build momentum, they forge habits, they develop character, they completely transform your internal landscape. This is why choosing to be happy is not just about surviving tough times. It's about building a life that can weather any storm. It's about developing the internal resources that will serve you well, regardless of the external circumstances you face. The compound effect of these disciplines creates what I call emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to recover from disappointments, to maintain your inner equilibrium even when life feels chaotic and overwhelming. It's not about avoiding difficulties. It's about developing the capacity to handle difficulties without losing your core of happiness. Emotionally resilient people don't experience fewer problems than others. They just handle their problems with a different level of wisdom and grace. They don't let their problems define them, discourage them, or defeat them. They use their problems as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. Happiness. The most generous gift you can give. There's something else I need you to understand about this journey. Choosing to be happy is not a selfish act. Some people carry a strange guilt about focusing on their own happiness, thinking it's self-centered or narcissistic. But the absolute opposite is true. When you are genuinely happy, you are a better parent, a better spouse, a better friend, a better employee, and a better citizen. You have more to give to others because you are not constantly depleted by negativity, worry, and despair. Happy people are more generous, more compassionate, more patient, and more understanding. They are more likely to help others, more likely to volunteer, more likely to make a positive and lasting difference in their communities. They are more productive at work, more pleasant to be around, and more inspiring to everyone they meet. When you choose to be happy, you are not just improving your own life. You are improving the lives of everyone around you. You become a source of positive energy in a world that desperately needs it. You become a beacon of hope for others who are struggling. You become living proof that it is possible to maintain joy even when life feels heavy. This is one of the most beautiful aspects of this journey. Happiness is contagious. When others see you maintaining your joy despite your challenges, they begin to believe that they can do the same. When they see you finding reasons to be grateful in difficult circumstances, they begin to look for their own reasons for gratitude. When they see you choosing hope over despair, they are more likely to choose hope as well. You have far more influence than you realize. Your attitude, your approach to life, your response to challenges. All of these things ripple out and affect the people around you in ways you may never fully know. By choosing to be happy, you are not just changing your own life. You are potentially changing the lives of countless others. But here's the non-negotiable key: you cannot give what you do not have. You cannot inspire others to be happy if you yourself are miserable. You cannot encourage others to be hopeful if you are drowning in hopelessness. You cannot help others find their joy if you have lost your own. This is why working on your own happiness is not selfish. It is, in fact, an essential prerequisite for a life of service and positive impact. Your ultimate freedom, the power to choose. As we draw this time together to a close, I want to leave you with this final, powerful thought. The decision to choose happiness, even when life feels heavy, is one of the most important and life-altering decisions you will ever make. It is a decision that will profoundly affect every other area of your life. It is a decision that will determine not just how you feel, but how you act, how you relate to others, and how you respond to the inevitable challenges of life. This decision is not a one-time event. It is a daily choice. Every single morning when you wake up, you have the opportunity to choose happiness. Every time you face a challenge, you have the opportunity to choose happiness. Every time you encounter a setback, you have the opportunity to choose happiness. Every time you feel discouraged, you have the opportunity to choose happiness. The choice is always and unequivocally yours. No one can make it for you. No one can prevent you from making it. No external circumstance, no matter how dire, can take away your fundamental power to choose your response. This is your ultimate freedom, your basic human right, and your greatest responsibility. I challenge you, right here and right now, to make that choice. I challenge you to decide that you are going to commit to being happy, regardless of what is happening in your life. I challenge you to embrace the disciplines I've shared with you today. I challenge you to begin the sacred journey of creating your own happiness, rather than waiting for it to find you. Remember, you don't have to be happy about everything that happens to you, but you can choose to be happy despite everything that happens to you. You don't have to love your circumstances, but you can choose to love your life. You don't have to enjoy every single moment, but you can choose to find the joy in the journey. The weight of life will come and go. The storms will rage and then they will pass. The challenges will arise and you will overcome them. But your capacity for happiness, your ability to find joy, your power to create meaning and purpose in your life, these things can remain constant if you choose to develop them. The disciplines I've shared with you today are not just concepts to be contemplated. They are practices to be implemented. They are not just ideas to agree with. They are habits to be forged. They are not just theories to be understood. They are tools to be used. Start today. Start now. Start with one discipline, one small practice, one single step on the path toward choosing happiness, even when life feels heavy. Your future self will thank you for it. Your family will benefit from it. Your community will be blessed by it. And the world will be a little brighter, a little kinder, and a little more hopeful, because you chose to be a source of light instead of darkness, hope instead of despair, and joy instead of sorrow. The choice is yours. The power is within you. The time is now. Choose to be happy, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible.